So the last 2 episodes of the Dynasty came out, and they examined the Malcolm Butler benching in Super Bowl 52, the loss against the Eagles. What could the personal? I thought it was never personal for Bill Belichick. What could the personal reason be? And it's not doesn't even. Is it? Did he cuss him out? Like what could he? What would the social and personal intersection of Malcolm Butler and Bill Belichick be, to where Bill Belichick would decide, you know what? Like, as much as people talk about Spygate, Deflategate less so. That was more of a Brady thing. But as much as people detest Bill Belichick for the way he's conducted himself at press conferences and in the media, as much as Patriot haters, and I'm not one of them, and I know you aren't either, much as Patriot haters like to talk about, you know, the cheating Patriots and like to put an asterisk next to Bill Belichick's legacy because of Spygate, this does not get the attention it deserves outside of New England. This, for a coach who built his brand and his legacy on I'll do what's best for the team.
Do what's best for the team.
Not doing what's best for the team in the biggest moment is the ultimate asterisk next to his legacy. I mean, I'm not saying 6 Super Bowls is not enough, but could you have 7? Could he have 7? Could Brady have 8? Like, oh my God.
Doing what's best for the team.
Personal? Because I always thought it was something personal with Malcolm Butler. I thought it was something that Malcolm Butler had done or something he was going through that the team was trying to protect from getting out publicly. You mean to tell me, like, he had beef with Malcolm Butler? What kind of beef? Man, grill that shit up and eat it. or sort it out after the Super Bowl.
Mike, because you have spent some time in Boston, you know how this goes. Do you know how many times that happened? That was a 2017 season. So it was like 7 years ago. 7 years ago. You know how many times since 2017 people have come up to me and either said, hey, what's the real story with Malcolm Butler? Or, and this is such a Boston thing, hey, you want to know what happened with Malcolm Butler? Yeah, man, I do want to. Well, I'll tell you what, this is what I heard. Like, I've heard so many people tell me, like, really, 15 different versions of what they think happened with Malcolm Butler. And the stories are way out there. I mean, one of them is he was hurt, he had a concussion, the Patriots knew he shouldn't have been on the field, they protected him. Other stories, he got into it with Belichick. Like it was curfew. There were, this is, all kinds of
Eugene Robinson type stuff.
Made for LMN type stories. Stuff with the coaching staff, like every story you can imagine, all of them have been on the table with Malcolm Butler, and we still don't know. And I'm not surprised that it was personal with Belichick and that he got in the way. He let something personal get in the way of the team because that became a slogan for him. Part of Bill Belichick's demise in New England was the slogan. The slogan, he didn't live up to it. Hey, I do what's best for the team. No, you don't. You don't always do it. You don't do what's best for the team. And you stopped doing that maybe 5 years before Malcolm Butler. So was I do what's best for the team, is that what he said internally or just externally? Because if it's just an external slogan, it strikes me as this just a way of not giving y'all anything. I'm not giving y'all the satisfaction of explaining myself to y'all. So instead of explaining, I do what's best for the team. He didn't explain it. He didn't explain it to the players, too. And I think that's what happened. Bill Belichick, just to be clear, Bill Belichick, the game has not passed Bill Belichick by. Strategically, he can sit down with anybody in football right now and slice him up. Sure. Anybody in football. You name him, I don't care who it is, he'll slice him up. But Matthew Slater said something about Belichick when Belichick wrote the letter for Trump, and he said, I don't think he was connected enough to his players to understand what a big move this was for him. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the issue. It's connection. He's a strategist who lost connection to his players, and he felt like he could just act like this is 2005, 2006. No, buddy. It ain't like, we don't roll like that. Not anymore. So your players demand more. You got to be more dimensional than you were. That whole do your job and just do as I say, not what I do. No, it doesn't work anymore. And so I think when he's away from football, he's going to have to step up that part of his game, because that part was lacking in the last few years of his career with the Patriots.
So I'm not in any way, this I told you so is not me dancing on anybody's professional grave. I got the utmost respect for what Bill Belichick has accomplished, what he's meant to the history of this game. And we never talked about this, because of, I was out for a while, and just the cadence of the show. We never talked about the coaching carousel stopping without Bill Belichick having a job, which surprised me not at all, because
it still surprises me.
But I told you. But I told you.
I know you did. I know you did.
I was like,
and I'm still surprised.
I was like, I'm not hiring him. I'm not hiring because of all the things you just described. Because those 6 Lombardis and Tom Brady specifically ain't coming with him. And I'm not, whether you want to say the game has passed him by, or he's lost touch, or he's disconnected, or whatever the case may be, Bill Belichick to me was not this no-brainer, we got to get him higher, that the speculation would have suggested that he was going to be once he left New England. Was not shocked at all that there was not a robust market for Bill Belichick.
Well, I'll just tell you this.
Not at all.
It's shocking to me, and I know it's different industry. I'll just tell you this: if I am struggling to make a film that matters, and Martin Scorsese's available, damn it, I'm hiring Martin Scorsese. I just don't understand. Look,
but Martin Scorsese, is Martin Scorsese still making great movies or not? As far as I know, he is. Okay, Bill Belichick has not been a great coach lately. He hasn't.
But but I know even the flawed Bill Belichick.
And his Leonardo DiCaprio is gone. DiCaprio has moved on.
Right. Even the flawed Bill Belichick is a top 10 coach in football with all his flaws. He's a top 10 coach. I've got a top 10 coach in football who
that don't mean he's the right fit. That don't mean he's the right fit for what I'm trying to do. That don't mean he's the right fit with my owner. The right fit with my general manager.
You ain't got a coach. You just fired your coach. You just fired Arthur Smith. You just fired Mike Vrabel. You just fired, who else got fired? You just fired, who else got fired in the cycle? Anyway.
Brandon Staley.
A lot of these names.
They went and got Harbaugh instead. Yeah.
Okay.
Chargers went and got Harbaugh. Brandon Staley got fired. Yeah.
Staley. He just fired. You moved on from Daly and Staley, and you don't want Bill Belichick? Are you kidding me? That's weird.
I told
that's
hire in particular. I think the last time we talked about it, I said I'd rather Jim Harbaugh than Bill Belichick right now. Again, not celebrating that he's out. Maybe he comes back next year. But like this Malcolm Butler thing, it's shit like this that lets me further.
That was 7 years ago.
Okay. Still.
And that was 7 years ago. And if you stay around long enough, if you hang around, you know this, you stay around long enough, you have enough runway for triumphs and enough for people to be like, what the hell was that? Why'd you do that back in the day? Now, the year after Malcolm Butler, the very next year, his team gives up 3 points and they win the Super Bowl to Sean McVay and the Rams.
Yeah.
So that's the next year.
Yeah.
So it's like, it all went downhill after Malcolm Butler. Next year, they give up 3 points in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I mean, you do this job long enough, and my reel of awful takes is very, very long. So I get it. You're not gonna bat 1,000.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.